If I had $1 for every time that my life took a sour turn, I'd be rich and rolling baller and hollering at your girl. I'd be making little money and spending it like I'm rich. I'd be making bad decisions and thinking that I'm the. If I had $1 for every time that my life took a sour turn, I'd be rich and rolling baller.
Hi everybody, Doe Cookie back. And today we're going to have a little bit of chat about the last 24 hours and what's been going on. So Foodie's come on and there's been a couple of rage streams. And there was a change of hijabs. That's how we can tell the difference between them, because the energy was pretty much the same between the two. Salah did go to hospital. He had a procedure. Don't worry guys, he came out of it really well, fighting. Had a toenail, ingrown toenail, had a procedure, but he's okay, don't worry. The main star's all right. But while he was away, Foodie's decided to come online because Nader was online as well, having a bit of a chit chat about Foodie. And Foodie's gotten angry. Unusual for her, I know. But she's decided that she's got a few things she still needs to say. Basically, he's a bad guy, she's a good guy. His behaviour makes him bad. Her behaviour, regardless of what it is, she's the good guy. And if you go into his chat and watch his videos or comment on his videos, you are supporting and therefore defending his actions. Now, I have a different perspective. Yes, I know. I sometimes see things a bit differently to Foodie. Going in and watching him is because you want to know what's going on with him, because you're interested. I don't go and watch Nader because he repulses every fibre of my being. I can't hear him. I can't see him. I don't want to hear what he has to say. I don't. He triggers me and makes my stomach turn over. Some people are not as attuned to that as I am, and they're stronger people than I am and are able to watch him. There are people in his chat that will defend him to the core. There's a small handful of them that are his avid followers and love the man, support him in every way. And then there are others who are sitting back and watching and collating his videos and clipping them and using them and archiving them. That does not mean they agree with him. That does not mean that they don't see him for what he is. An alleged rapist that's going to court in a few months, and an abusive man. We know this. And Foodie really wanted to bring it home by replaying the Sam's Bar Lounge videos. For those people who have not seen it, it depicts some acts that Nader aggressed towards Dee Dee that were very graphic, and I'm trying to not trigger anybody, that were very graphic and awful to watch and very, very upsetting. But Chantal decided to sit there and watch them. Now, I found this very confusing, that she would be able to sit there and watch these videos, for a couple of reasons. And if anybody's triggered by language regarding SA or DV, please check out now. I will try to make this language very soft but descriptive, okay, as I can, without being too vague. Chantal decided to sit there and watch this. Now, as somebody who has DV in their family, watching the person that hurt you hurt somebody else would be very, very triggering. Now, this wasn't a long time ago for Foodie. This was very recent, and she claims she has PTSD. So I find this also very strange that she would engage with watching that visual and listening to the sounds and listening to the language. That I've never been hurt by Nader, and I find those videos very hard to watch. I've watched them one time, so I knew what they were, and I've never gone back to watch them again because it is too hard and it's too difficult. And I'm not the victim. I don't have post-traumatic stress syndrome. And yet Foodie, who's undiagnosed, says that she is. But she chose to watch them and comment on them. Now, I did not see her triggered, other than her normal anger. There were no tears, there was no shaking. She didn't have to turn it off, she didn't need to pause. Other than to comment on what she was seeing, there was a little bit of giggling. She seemed quite for someone who was angry and upset, she seemed quite comfortable and relaxed. And this just didn't sit right. Maybe, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she is very good at guarding those feelings and suppressing those. But we know well that Foodie isn't very good at hiding her emotions. But maybe in this context she is. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not an expert. But this for me sat very weirdly, that she would be able to sit there and watch it, not be affected. Now the videos, the idea of her watching these videos was to paint Nader in a picture that he is an abusive man, because there is evidence of abuse, and that is true. The issue that I took mostly with this is that Dee Dee's abuse is Dee Dee's, and there is sympathy for Dee Dee around that by people in the community. Not everybody's sympathetic, but a lot of people are. Chantal cannot claim the sympathy for Dee Dee's abuse because it is not her own. Two situations are very different. Chantal was undoubtedly verbally abused, more than likely physically abused by Nader. How? We don't know, because we can only go by Chantal's words. And Chantal has admittedly exaggerated and lied to the police about those claims. And she was even confused about whether she was SA'd or not. That's not to say she wasn't, but even in her own mind, she was confused about it. She needed some clarity, and that's fine. She should clarify those emotions. Did she do it with a therapist? Did she do it with a professional? No, she just made some claims, and that apparently sorted it out. And she did the right thing to go and charge Nader if she even had a suspicion that she potentially was SA'd. She did drop those charges, and that's her prerogative. However, she did also, hi buddy says hi, she did also say that that was partially Dee Dee's fault for making her, getting in Chantal's ear and making her drop those charges. So again, that was Dee Dee's fault, the charges were dropped. Not Chantal's decision, but Dee Dee's fault. She played a part in it. She can't, or she shouldn't, try and garner sympathy for Dee Dee's ongoing abuse for herself. The abuse has finished now. It may stick in her mind and affect her that way, because that's what it normally does with most people. It takes a lot of time to shed those feelings and that feeling of hypervigilance and the memories of it. You don't really ever get rid of it because it's always there. But you can manage it and you can move past it. Chantal has not been in the vicinity of Nader for quite a long time. They've not been in the same room, the same area, the same town for a very long time. Yet she's still acting like he's still abusing her, that it's still ongoing. And that's not true. She should be more fearful of him, though, I would feel. Like, you wouldn't really want to talk about him or engage with him in any way. You would want to avoid him at all costs. And this is the other issue that I have. Chantal is in full control of the content she sees from YouTube. Nader's not emailing her, Nader's not calling her, he's not writing her letters. The content that he's putting out is strictly on YouTube. Chantal has the control to block him. She can block his channel. She can even report his channel for content. She can block other people that watch him and are tagged to him from her stream. She can choose not to watch. If it upsets her, she can always choose not to watch, as we choose not to watch content that upsets us. She has full control of how much intake she has of Nader, and yet she continues to watch. He is always going to put her name in his titles because he requires views, and he does probably take joy in upsetting her. So for her to talk about him is going to keep him relevant, is going to keep him talking about her, because he knows it upsets her and he knows it makes her rage and he knows it makes her talk about him. Therefore, people will then bounce over to his channel. She wants to talk about him. That's what I believe. She wants to rage about him because it's extra content. She still feels angry that she lost him to Dee Dee. Her ego is bruised, her ego is hurt that she didn't win him back, that Nader went with Dee Dee, somebody she thinks is fatter, uglier, stupider and less worthwhile than she is. She feels like she lost to a lesser woman. Her ego cannot take that blow. That is why she's still holding on to this. Her obsessive nature and her ego is bruised. That's why she's continuing to do this behavior. Now, the video was a lot. There was a lot of things going on. But at the end of the day, if you do watch the stream or by one of the reaction channels, she talks about Nader, and a lot of the times you feel like she could be talking about herself. The way she says things like, a real man wouldn't do this, a real man wouldn't act like this, a real man wouldn't call someone a tranny. That is a slur. That is what Salah said to Nader. He wouldn't call someone a bitch. He wouldn't call someone an f-ot. These are the words that he used to talk about Nader and Dee. A real man wouldn't talk like that, according to Foodie, because a real man doesn't insult women. A real man doesn't talk like that. They don't swear, they don't curse. Yet Salah was doing this online, and she sat there, very reminiscent of when Nader was threatening FFG. He will find her wherever she is, even if she lived in a bird box. Same energy. She just sat there and giggled and didn't say anything. Like, you shouldn't be saying that. Those words aren't okay. Those are slurs. I think she didn't even understand what he was saying in Arabic. He said it in Arabic, but it's been translated by Mose Translate. Yet same energy, just sat there giggling, happy as a lark that her man was home with a busted foot, but she was happy. But yeah, she has a lot of similar traits to Nader. Now, is she a physically abusive person? We have never seen evidence of that, and I'm not assimilating those two behaviors together. Is she verbally abusive? Yes. Is she a manipulator? Yes. Does she blame everybody for her own problems? Yes. Does she deliberately lie and misdirect people? Absolutely, 100%. Does she scam and grift? Yes, she does. They have more personality attributes in common than they have differences. But Chantal is not physically abusive, but she is verbally abusive. She is an abusive, manipulative person. Is she a victim of Nader? Yes. Is she a victimizer? Yes. So I don't have a lot of sympathy for Foodie as far as her current situation. I can sympathise with her as a person who understands DV, but I don't think she carries her way as somebody who's traumatised. And I've said that all along. I think she's been hurt, but I don't think she's been traumatised by it. And that's my opinion. I could be wrong, and I'm willing to be wrong. But wouldn't it be great if she wasn't traumatised by Nader? That would be a better outcome, I think, but I just don't feel like she acts that way. There's so much that could be said about the whole video and the situation with Foodie right now. But at the end of the day, Foodie is just digging her own grave. She's actually came out and explained how they are legally married in Kuwait. So little tidbit, little toasty morsel at the very end here. This is what Foodie's done. So this is what I think the scenario is, but there is actual fact. It's been clipped. It was on What's Happening channel. It'll be all over Twitter. It'll be, if you just describe it, it's got something to do with a civil ID. So basically, to get a civil ID in Kuwait, you need to have permission to work there. You need to be employed, and then you need to have paperwork or an admission from your employer that you need a civil ID to work there. So they've acquired a civil ID for Foodie under false pretenses that she works for Salah. Now, I believe she gave Salah money, seed money, to set up the business that he's currently running for Murad. This business was set up so that Foodie could get the ID so she could then be married to Salah in Kuwait. So they've jumped through a few loopholes to get this ID. So she's basically lied, because we know she's not working. She hasn't worked a day since she's been there. She's giving money to Salah. Salah is not paying her a wage. So if this was investigated a little bit further, I really think they could get themselves into trouble. And Foodie's big blabby mouth, because she wants us to know that they are truly married, and she's had to explain this to let us know. Again, her big mouth has got her into trouble. But isn't it a tasty little morsel? The truth always seems to come out from Foodie. It always comes out. And as far as her not going to the hospital to be with Salo when he got his toe done, I honestly 100% believe within my heart of hearts, his dad drove him to the hospital. His dad's put the condition as like, I can take you and pick you up and bring you home, but I do not want to be around that woman. I don't want to be with her. We do not like her for you. I will do this favor for you, but I don't want her to come with. That's what I believe. But anyway, if you want to go and watch some of the reaction channels and watch the full stream, because there was a lot of content in there, I do recommend that you perhaps skip the Sam's Bar Lounge content part if you are easily triggered. And perhaps if you are easily triggered from DV and SA talk, that you don't watch it. But if you are interested in following along with the story, perhaps there are some... It's a really good stream if you want to see Chantal's full hypocrisy in flight. It is a very, very good example of her hypocrisy. All right, well, if you agree with anything that I've said in this video, let me know. If you disagree and want to let me know some other thoughts or some things that I might have gotten wrong or some things that I don't know that I should know, put it in the comments. If you want to like, that'd be awesome. And if you want to subscribe, that'd be really fun. All right. I'll see you next time. Bye. Buddy says hi too. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, sunny days, no clouds in the sky, about to get away. Feels like it's been a freaking decade. Sorry, don't call me cause I'm gonna be on break. Sunny day, make way. All the stress and doubt, yeah, not today. Feels like it's been a freaking decade. Sorry, don't call me cause I'm gonna be on break. Got the Tropicana, fresh cut sushi on a platter, brandy, honey, it don't matter, shots till I drop, gonna be 24/7, golden hour like a boss. And they say, yo, guess you got a 2 o'clock appointment for a champagne shot, oh yeah. I'm busy trying to take it higher, got no time for never, only spending cheddar. Wish I could do this forever. Chilling with the hottest company, they all wanna welcome me to their private penthouse suite. Yeah, now I got the key. Rooftop pool, got a heli on speed. Ocean view from the highest peak. I'm complete, oh, I want this to stay. Please don't go away. Yeah, sunny days, no clouds in the sky, about to get away. Feels like it's been a freaking decade. Sorry, don't call me cause I'm gonna be on break. Sunny day, make way. All the stress and doubt, yeah, not today. Feels like it's been a freaking decade. Sorry, don't call me cause I'm gonna be on break. Here we invite only positivity to this party. Don't want no drama with any bad karma. Got a lot of that in La Vida Loca, just wanna let it all go. Yeah, I can't say no when I'm this free. Don't wanna go home, oh I can't sleep. Weather's so nice, only got good vibes. Yeah, we here chillin' in paradise. Sunny days, no clouds in the sky, about to get away. Feels like it's been a freaking decade. Sorry, don't call me cause I'm gonna be on break. Sunny day, make way. All the stress and doubt, yeah, not today. Feels like it's been a freaking decade. Sorry, don't call me cause I'm gonna be on break. Sunny days, no clouds in the sky, about to get away. Feels like it's been a freaking decade. Sorry, don't call me cause I'm gonna be on break. Sunny day, make way. All the stress and doubt, yeah, not today. Feels like it's been a freaking decade. Sorry, don't call me cause I'm gonna be on break. Hi, let's go.
Alright, let's take a look at our weather forecast today.
Today's forecast, a lot of sunshine, blue skies, marine clouds. Just a perfect day to go outside and relax. That's your forecast. We'll be right back.
Yeah, sunny days, no clouds in the sky, about to get away. Feels like it's been a freaking decade. Sorry, don't call me cause I'm gonna be on break. Sunny day, make way. All the stress and doubt, yeah, not today. Feels like it's been a freaking decade. Sorry, don't call me cause I'm gonna be on break. Got the Tropicana, fresh cut sushi on a platter, brandy, honey, it don't matter, shots till I drop, gonna be 24/7, golden hour like a boss. And they say, yo, guess you got a 2 o'clock appointment for a champagne shot, oh yeah.